I'm Tom Fox, the Compliance Evangelist, and I'd like to welcome you to an exploration of Hallmark number 2 under the 10 Hallmarks of an Effective Compliance Program, Code of Conduct, Policies and Procedures, and Internal Controls. As you might expect, the Department of Justice had quite a bit to say about all 3 of these in the evaluation. Let's start with the Code of Conduct, because every compliance program starts with a Code of Conduct. What's the value in having a Code of Conduct? Well, it sets forth the standards of conduct that the company demonstrates are its ethical values throughout the system, throughout the company, throughout the entire organization. The code is meant for all employees, literally from the boardroom to the shop floor. First and foremost, the standards of a code of conduct demonstrate a company's overarching ethical attitude and its system-wide approach to ethics, applicable laws, and regulations. Your code of conduct is for all employees and all representatives of your organization, and indeed those who do work for your organization, literally from the boardroom to the shop floor. Management, vendors, suppliers, independent contractors are all groups which your code of conduct should apply to. Your code of conduct should be your conduct that will be held to literally across the globe for your company. But the code of conduct is only the starting point, because you have to have policies and procedures to implement your code of conduct. Policies are additional and more detailed statements that you would make to specific issues that would pop up, certainly around anti-bribery and anti-corruption, such things as gifts, entertainment, travel, expediting payments, extortion payments, and the like. But your procedures implement how those policies are dealt with. So that's why you have a third-party program around both a policy stating what you will allow and then your procedures to implement that going forward. So your policies and procedures follow on to your code of conduct, and they're certainly an integral part. They're the first line of defense when the government comes knocking, and any exception granted under your policies and procedures must be reviewed by an appropriate level of management, and it must be approved in writing. Because, as you know, the 3 most important parts of any compliance program are to document, document, document. The evaluation of corporate compliance programs is very thorough in its discussion of policies and procedures, and indeed it had its largest number of questions under these prongs. So it is something the government's looking at. What's the design, what's the accessibility, and what's the operational integration of your compliance program. Following the code of conduct, following policies and procedures, comes internal controls. Internal controls indeed form the backbone of your compliance program. They are financial controls and compliance controls. You should work very diligently to implement effective internal controls. All of this is laid out in much greater detail in my new book, The Complete Compliance Handbook. The Complete Compliance Handbook will be published by Compliance Week in April of 2018. It's available for pre-sale now on my website, www.fcpacompliancereport.com. This is Tom Fox, the Compliance Evangelist. I hope you will join me for the next episode, Hallmark number 3.